You don't really know much about Halloween.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another unboxing video. I am your host Joel. I am one half of the Newlydeads, and if you are unfamiliar with who the Newlydeads are, please go to our website at thenewlydeads.com and you can find out more information about who we are, what we do, and we are artists of all mediums. And so we, as physical artists, will be doing one show this year. We're going to be doing the Witches Market hosted by Wolf Hollow. It is the 5th annual Witches Market at the Boone County Fairgrounds on October 4th. If you want more information about that, please, I'll put the information up here for you. You can also go to Wolf Hollow's Facebook page or website. You also can check out us weekly on our talk show about movies that we find out in the wild called Dollar Store Drive-In. It's a half-hour chat show that is available on the following networks that I'll put up on the page here for you now. That is also available the day after it is aired in an audio format as a podcast on Spotify, as well as other fine podcasting directories. So if you don't have the desire to watch it, which we do recommend because there's a lot of editing and a lot of comedic value in that, you can listen to it in your car or wherever else you do listen to your podcast. Also on the channel here, you may notice that there are other videos that are available, including our Sinister Snacks. There's some caffeinated videos that we haven't done one in a while. And the classic episodes of Dollar Store Drive-In are available on here. So if you are a fan of the show and kind of want to go back and see where it started and kind of up to where we're at currently, I am releasing one episode a week there. So you can check that out and kind of see where things have ended up. Now, keep in mind that at the end of every one of those episodes, there is a stinger after the credits. So if you've not watched through the credits before, highly recommend you do so because there's always a little something at the end that either ties in with the episode or something that has happened in the week before or the week after. Sometimes it's serious. Most of the time it's comedic. And I try very hard to kind of give you something to kind of leave a good taste in your mouth after the episode. Not that the episodes are going to leave a bad taste in your mouth, but you know what I mean. Please, if you could, our goal in 2025 is to grow the channel ever so slightly. Please like, share, and subscribe with your friends, enemies, your dogs, your cats, whoever. Let them know about our channel as well as our Dollar Store Drive-In show. And we would greatly appreciate it because this is not our full-time job. This is what we do in our spare time because we love to create content. We love movies. We love horror movies. And we love talking about them. So we just kind of figured we'd take you into our home and share that with you. So it'd be much appreciated. But anyway, the reason you're here. Now, this is a big episode. I apologize. It's probably going to take a little while to get through. But Vinegar Syndrome had their Halfway to Black Friday sale. And I'm a subscriber for the second time this year, and I don't know if I'll be able to do it next year, but we'll see when we get there. But in the meantime, their Halfway to Black Friday sale, I like to pick up things at a deep discount, things maybe that I couldn't afford before or that for whatever reason I just wasn't able to get. And so this is what happened thanks to that sale. So, all right, you ready? Got a snack? Gone to the bathroom? If not, pause the video. It's not like this is going to go without you. So first up, we have Pledge Night from 1988. The plot of this is that a college fraternity in the middle of a hazing of their new pledges during Hell Week incur the wrath of a long-deceased pledge who died during a hazing gone wrong 20 years ago. So this is directed by Paul Ziller, who did Blood Fist 4, Die Trying, and so many Christmas movies. I couldn't list them all. There were so many. This stars Joey Belladonna from Anthrax, who plays young Sid. If you're not familiar with Anthrax, then you might be after this. A little bit of trivia here. This is the only movie written or produced by Joyce Snyder that isn't rated X. It was also her last film. After this, she became an author. So follow the career arc there. I don't know. But anyway, there's the cover that most people know, kind of the classic banana out of the toilet. There's the information about the film, as well as some screenshots. Inside, we have the discs that belong to the film, and we have the alternate art there. So that one has been on the list for a while. I've heard interesting things about it, so I'm kind of excited to check it out. Next up, we have Undefeatable from 1993. I'm a Cynthia Rothrock fan and have slowly been collecting her catalog as they've been putting it out. This is one I missed. So this is about Christy Jones, who avenges her sister's death at the hands of a crazed martial artist abuser. I don't know how to say that without getting in trouble. So this is directed by Godfrey Ho, who just look at his resume. It is just stars Cynthia Rothrock, who was in China O'Brien 1 and 2, which is on the shelf. A little bit of trivia here. Cynthia Rothrock claimed that some of her co-stars had difficulty remembering their lines while filming, so portions of the dialogue were written down and taped to her forehead for the actors to read. So there is the cover of the film. This is a 4K release. On the back, you have a lot of information about the film because this is jam-packed full of stuff. Inside, you have the Blu-ray, the 4K, and you also have a special features disc. Inside, you've got a fun little booklet here. There's Cynthia kicking butt. And whoop, a little too far over there. Got information about the film as well as screenshots from the film itself. And like I said, I'm a fan, and so it's great that they're releasing all their stuff, because being a kid of the 90s, well, being in high school in the 90s, hanging out with my friends, ordering pizza or Taco Bell and getting a bunch of soda and hanging out watching, video store rentals. Typically, we stuck to kind of the action stuff with our group of friends, or horror. And she popped up a lot. She was kind of the queen of direct-to-video action films, and some that were in the theaters as well. Next up, we have kind of a legendary shot-on-video film. This is Blonde Death from 1984. So the plot line here: meet Tammy, the teenage time bomb. 18 years of bottled-up frustration are about to explode. This is directed by James Robert Baker. This is his only credit. This stars Sarah Lee Wade, who was in something called Darkroom. And a little bit of trivia here. Director James Robert Baker appears as one of the 2 Jehovah's Witnesses at the end of the film. So I've had my eyeball on this one ever since I read about it, and have been hoping for a good release. And, here we go. Bleeding Skull came through, which Bleeding Skull is the man. Love that organization. There's another version of the cover, and then the disc itself is just kind of generic, but a lot of people are kind of iffy about shot on video. I personally am a fan, and so for me, I couldn't resist. Next up, we have Primal Rage from 1988. Plot is a scientist at a Florida university accidentally creates a rage virus while conducting experiments to restore dead brain tissue in baboons. The virus soon spreads. Sounds a little like 28 Days Later, right? This is directed by Vittorio Rambaldi, who did something called Decoy. This stars Patrick Lowe, who was in Slumber Party Massacre 2. I didn't care for part 2, but there you go. A little bit of trivia here. This was released a year before Nightmare Beach, which was also filmed in Florida. Featured 2 actors from this film and features a few of the same songs from the soundtrack. Umberto Lenzi was also involved in both films. So there you've got cover there. This is a 4K release. There's the back with the information about the film as well as some screenshots. And inside, of course, you've got the Blu-ray and 4K discs. Next up, we have, so I'm so thankful that they're releasing the Nick Millard collection. And of course, you can't go into this collection without Criminally Insane 2, which I've got Criminally Insane, Satan's Black Wedding, and the Nick Millard action release, or 5 movie set, 6 movies, I forget how many are in it. It just came out this last month. But anyway, this is from 1987. So a severe decrease in funding forces a mental hospital to release mass murderer Ethel Janowski into a halfway house. Ethel is a psychotic and delusional and has a hefty appetite. In fact, her killing spree began 13 years before with the murder of her grandmother, who had forced her to go on a diet. Now she's tasted the home-cooked fare at the halfway house, and she'll do absolutely nothing to get more. The original film was also under the title Crazy Fat Ethel, which is not the best title. Criminally Insane isn't great either, but it is what it is. So this is directed by Nick Millard, who did Death Nurse, which also stars Priscilla Alden. Correct. She was in 357 Magnum, which was another Nick Millard film. A little bit of trivia here. The first half of this movie is built up almost entirely out of flashbacks from the first film. So think Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, which is a very quoted film, but boy, it is mostly just Silent Night, Deadly Night again. So there's the cover. There's the back with some shots from the film, as well as information about the film. Inside, we have the disc and a strange shot from the film, which the DeGauser video stuff, that's kind of how they do their internal shots there, which it is what it is. Next up, we have Street Trash from 2024, the pseudo sequel to the original, which is a classic underground film, which is on the shelf already. The plot of this is that a group of homeless misfits must fight for survival when they discover a plot to exterminate every homeless person in the city. This is directed by Ryan Kruger, who did Fried Berry, which a lot of people who are genre film fans already know that one. This stars Sean Cameron Michael, who was in Shark Attack 2, which we just did an episode of Dollar Store Drive-In on that, I want to say, months ago. This is a sequel to the classic 87 movie of the same name, which was filmed in South Africa. Cover. A little bit gruesome there, but there you go. If you've seen the film, you know there's a lot of melting. It's a very melt-heavy film. Is that a thing? There's the disc. And inside, you've got the alternate art there. So, like I said, I'm a fan of the first one. It is visually very stunning, and I'm excited to check out the sequel, although I've heard kind of mixed things about the film. But next up, we have Igor and the Lunatics. This is one I'm excited about, from 1985. After 16 years in prison, Igor and his gang are out and bent on taking revenge on the town that sent them up. Now, this is directed by W.J. Parolini, who did Finding Candy, and stars Joe Niola as Igor. That's their only credit. No trivia on this, but we've got the typical kind of cardboard, I don't know what to call it, coolness numbered. And on the inside, we have alternate cover art there. In the back, we have information about the film, as well as the screenshots. Inside, we have a poster for the film, which you've already seen what that looks like. You've got the disc there, and then I think that the other image inside is, the same as the box cover. So again, this is one that I've read about and I've heard about, and I was kind of excited that it was getting a release, and so I'm curious to check this out as soon as I get a chance, which, who knows. Next up, we have The Instructor from 1981. Come on, kids. You know you want this one. This is about Bendel Self-Defense School, which is considered pretty good, but not in the league of one of his rivals. One thing leads to another, and the two men find themselves and their students squaring off in a winner-take-all. This is directed by Don Blundell, which this is their only credit. This stars Bob Chaney, which this is their only credit. And a little bit of trivia here. The stuntman in the fight scene in the park suffered from hypothermia after going through the rivers and its waterfalls. Also, the movie poster was drawn by young James Cameron. It can be seen in his book, Tech Noir, The Art of James Cameron. So, a little bit of fun trivia there. So we've got the back, we've got the cover. Again, this one is, I'm very excited. I've said that a lot, but it's true. I'm excited to check this one out. Same thing as you had there on the cover. Information about the film, of course, special features and whatnot. Inside, we have a poster, and we have the disc has the same art that we saw on the cover there. So that's all the same stuff. But what we have here, now this is, I looked this up. This is what James Cameron did, was this image right here. And we've got this booklet that talks about the film, has screenshots from the film, of course, information about it. And I highly recommend, if you're not familiar with The Instructor, look it up, read what you can about the film, because it is one of those that, it is numbered as well. You're not going to be able to see that because my face is there. It is a crazy story. Let's just put it that way. A good story, though. Next up, we have Michael Finlay's Flesh trilogy. First film in the trilogy is The Touch of Her Flesh from 1967. I am an exploitation fan. So a distraught weapons dealer is involved in an automobile accident after he catches his stripper wife in bed with another man. Upon recovering, he goes on a killing spree. bumping off exotic dancers and hookers while plotting revenge on his wife. This is directed by Michael Finlay, who did Satan's Bed. Stars Angelique Pettijohn, who was in Repo Man. And a little bit of trivia here. The pseudonym chosen from the director of this film, Julian Marsh, is the name of the character in 42nd Street who is directing the show around which all the action takes place. This is also Angelique Pettijohn's first starring role. I was about to show you that, but we got two more films here. So we've got The Curse of Her Flesh from 1968. A weapons dealer who murdered his unfaithful stripper wife goes on a killing spree, bumping off exotic dancers and hookers while plotting his revenge on his ex. So you get it. Again, directed by Michael Finlay, who did The Sin Syndicate, and stars Eve Bork. This is her only credit, probably because of her last name. No trivia to speak of here. But finally, we have The Kiss of Her Flesh, also from 1968, which has the exact same plot. And so, very curious to see how this plays out. Directed by Michael Finlay, who did Shriek of the Mutilated, on the shelf. Uta Eriksson is one of the stars who was in The Amazing Transplant. And I do have a little bit of trivia here. The film was considered lost for many years until Something Weird Video, good job, Something Weird, unearthed the original negative and released it on video, which we love Something Weird in this house, as well as Bleeding Skull, American Genre Film Archives, and others. So anyway, inside we have the covers up there. And let me just double check, make sure that the posters here are okay to share. They're a little shocking. We'll put them in the back here. But those are the three posters for the film. Now, I cut and paste those from Internet Movie Database, so how accurate those are, I don't know. I should have probably checked that out beforehand, but my fault. Next up, we have Iron Angels 1 through 3. Now, come on, kids. This is a big one. So the first film, I did not put the date on any of them. I am dropping the ball, so I apologize. But the plot of it is a crime-fighting organization called the Angels goes up against a drug smuggling ring headed by a female kung fu killer. This is directed by Teresa Wu, who did The Missed Date. The stars Alex Fong, who was in all three of these films, as well as something called Sleazy Dizzy. No trivia here. We've also got Iron Angels 2. Like I said, no dates. Sorry about that. So this one, after some daring work at home, Alex, Elaine, and Moon head for Kuala Lumpur for vacation. When the truth comes out and friends face each other as political opposites, what will they choose to do? Will friendship overcome ideology? Directed by Teresa Wu, who did... wow, I didn't finish what I was typing. All right. Well, we'll just pretend that there's a title here. Ta-da! I'll put it up on the screen. This stars Moon Lee, who was in all three of these films, as well as Mr. Vampire 2, which is on my list of things to check out at some point. No trivia to speak of. And finally, we have Iron Angels 3. A gang of crime-fighting martial arts beauties battle a terrorist organization based in Thailand, led by a religious fanatic. Again, directed by Teresa Wu, who did the other two Iron Angels films, of course. This stars Elaine Luai, who was in all three of these movies, as well as something called Ghost Punting. No trivia to speak of there. But here we have the cover that you've been staring at for the last couple minutes. We have awesome art there on the back as well. We've got numbered. And inside, now this one I had not heard of. And then when it came out, I'm like, instant, got to get it. I love the Girls with Guns trend that they had for a while. And this is one of those. So we've got a poster here. We have the discs with the art there. And then the other art on the other side here is the same as what you've already seen. So I'll spare you from having to do that because this video already is a long one. So along with that, we also have this cool little book that is, a companion piece to this. And inside, of course, we have shots from the films and information about that. That guy's in trouble. And so if you're not familiar with the films, it's a great way to just kind of dive in head first to all of it. And from what I've read on Reddit and other forums that I'm part of for Vinegar Syndrome, a lot of people really enjoyed that. And a lot of people were already fans before they were released. So I'm late to the party. That's all I can say. Finally, I'm very happy about this. They've continued. This is my third Dave the Rock Nelson Blu-ray release, second from Vinegar Syndrome. But this is Dave the Rock Nelson collection, volume 2. Now, he's got a plethora of stuff, but I'm going to try and do this the best I can because there's a lot of information here that I kind of shoved into a short amount of time. So this includes The Devil Ant from 1999, The Giant Fly from 1992, and Can't Stop the Rock, a 2007 documentary, which I've already seen. So the plot of The Devil Ant is that a barrel of radioactive waste dumped by a careless mad scientist turns an ordinary ant into a fearsome formicid, the Devil Ant. Now, if you're familiar with Dave the Rock Nelson, Illinois native and legend in this area, the Devil Ant he carries around with him, and so there are a ton of guest stars, co-stars, celebrity appearances in his films because he chucks it at him and films it. So it's a staple. I think it's like 2.5 hours long, this cut of it. I couldn't find a plot on The Giant Fly, but it appears to me that it's probably similar to The Devil Ant. And then the Can't Stop the Rock plot, they say Z movie maker and cult icon Dave the Rock Nelson recounts his life as a Marine, Golden Gloves boxer, street preacher, and monster movie fanatic en route to underground stardom as the Ed Wood of the 90s and beyond, which is what's stuck. So he directed the first 2 films I mentioned. He also is known for Conrad Brooks versus the Werewolf. Yep, Conrad Brooks from Plan 9. Bigfoot Wreaks Havoc. Howl of the Werewolf, and Attack of the Killer Potatoes. And if you're not a shot-on-video fan or a very low-budget connoisseur, you're probably not going to like these. I've read a lot of negative things, but if you know what you're getting into, this is the stuff right here. The documentary is directed by Christopher Collar, who did Hobo with a Trash Can and Around Midnight. Now, Devil Ant stars, okay, I'm just going to name them off one by one here. Forrest J. Ackerman, Conrad Brooks, Roger Corman, S. William Hinsman, Rich Cause, Fred Olin Ray, John A. Russo, Tom Savini, and Hillary Clinton. Now, that's just some of them that I found. There's probably more involved in that. Now, The Giant Fly has Dave the Rock Nelson, who was in Dr. Horror's Erotic House of Idiots. What a great title. And Brain Robbers from Outer Space, which is similar to Plan 9's original title, Grave Robbers from Outer Space. And then Rich Cause, who was in the Can't Stop the Rock documentary. You may know him as Fenguli. No trivia on this, but you don't need trivia when you got Dave the Rock Nelson. So there's the cover. There's him in his boxing outfit there. Guy is still in great shape, kind of Charles Bronson-y in a way. In the back here, and I'm friends with him on Facebook. He's very interactive with his fans. Really nice guy. And so if you have not already started to and you're a fan, you should find him on Facebook because you'll be able to interact with him directly. And who doesn't love that? That's the cover there. And then on the inside, there you go. Now, if you're familiar with Dave the Rock Nelson, you will recognize her. She was in a lot of his films. They were dating for a long time, and I'm drawing a blank on her name now, but there's several films that is her versus whatever the monster is, the Mummy or the Devil Ant or whatever. And it's just fun. It's harmless. It's a good time. So that is it. Thank you for sticking around with me. I know this was a long video, but I had a lot to talk about, so I appreciate it. Remember to check out our website, check out our show, come see us at our event that's coming up. And remember, if you'd like to reach us, you can contact us at contact@thenewlydeads.com or through our Facebook page. I'm on there every single day posting stuff. So like that as well. And if you have questions, reach out. I'll be happy to talk to you. So that is it. Remember that tomorrow is not guaranteed, so don't forget to unbox your heart. We'll see you next time.
Should be done, you see, between the real and the unreal. The dead might be looking in. Halloween, the festival of Samhain. Happy Halloween.